Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, a detailed review and analysis. Imagine a world where magic is real, where flying broomsticks are a norm, and young wizards attend a magical school to learn spells and potions. This is the world J.K. Rowling introduces us to in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first book in the iconic Harry Potter series. Released in 1997, the book sparked a cultural phenomenon that would change literature and storytelling forever. But what makes this book so captivating? What deeper meanings lie beneath its surface? Let's dive into the story, its characters, and the powerful themes that make it more than just a magical adventure. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone begins with Harry, a young boy living a miserable life with his cruel aunt and uncle, the Dursleys. From the very beginning, Rowling paints a picture of an ordinary, unhappy child who has no idea about his extraordinary destiny. Harry discovers on his 11th birthday that he is a wizard and that his parents, who he thought died in a car accident, were actually killed by the dark wizard Voldemort. Harry is whisked away to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, where he begins his journey into the world of magic. At Hogwarts, Harry befriends Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger, two of the most important characters in the entire series. They help Harry navigate his new life, but also uncover the mystery of the Sorcerer's Stone, a magical object with the power to grant immortality. As Harry learns more about his parents' legacy, he comes face to face with the very force that killed them, Voldemort, who still seeks to regain power. What makes this book so powerful is not just its magical elements, but its portrayal of themes that resonate with all readers. One of the central themes in The Sorcerer's Stone is the importance of choice. Harry is constantly faced with decisions that shape his path, and through him, we learn that our choices define who we are, not our circumstances. This is especially evident in Harry's decision to stand up to evil, even though he is just a young boy. The book also explores the theme of friendship. Harry, Ron, and Hermione's bond is a shining example of how true friends stand by each other in times of danger and uncertainty. Their teamwork is essential in solving the mysteries surrounding the Sorcerer's Stone, but more importantly, their friendship is the emotional core of the book. The trio's dynamic reminds us how friendships can provide strength, courage, and a sense of belonging, especially in times when we feel out of place. Another significant theme is the battle between good and evil, embodied by Harry and Voldemort. Voldemort, the dark wizard who killed Harry's parents, represents fear, hatred, and the abuse of power. Harry, on the other hand, embodies love, courage, and selflessness. The final confrontation between them is not just a physical battle, but a battle of values. Harry's victory over Voldemort in this first book is a reminder that love and compassion are stronger than fear and hate. Now, let's talk about the characters. Harry, as the protagonist, is endearing in his simplicity and innocence. He isn't perfect, he makes mistakes, sometimes acts impulsively, and doesn't always understand the world around him. But it's this vulnerability that makes him so relatable. He represents the everyday person who faces challenges and must make difficult decisions. Ron and Hermione, his two best friends, complement Harry perfectly. Ron brings humor, loyalty, and a sense of grounded reality, while Hermione brings intelligence, wit, and determination. Together, the trio forms an unbreakable bond, and their interactions are some of the most charming moments in the book. Each character has a clear arc, with Harry growing from a naive boy into a young hero, and Ron and Hermione becoming integral parts of his journey. The supporting characters also add depth to the story. Professor Dumbledore, the wise and compassionate headmaster of Hogwarts, represents the archetype of a mentor figure. He believes in Harry's potential and guides him with kindness and wisdom. On the other hand, characters like Professor Snape and Draco Malfoy serve as contrasts to Harry's values, embodying jealousy, rivalry, and the darker side of the wizarding world. The setting of Hogwarts itself is like a character in its own right. The school is full of mystery, history, and magical wonders, from the moving staircases to the enchanted Forbidden Forest. J.K. Rowling's world-building is one of the book's most outstanding features. Every room, hallway, and creature feels carefully crafted to immerse the reader in the magical atmosphere. While Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is a magical adventure, it also invites readers to reflect on the bigger questions in life. How do we deal with loss and hardship? How do we find our place in the world? The book encourages readers, young and old, to be brave in the face of adversity and to value the relationships that shape our lives. In terms of storytelling, the pacing is spot on. The book gradually builds suspense, revealing just enough of the mystery behind the Sorcerer's Stone to keep readers engaged. There are twists and turns, but it's the emotional payoff that truly makes the story unforgettable. The conclusion, where Harry faces Voldemort in a weakened form and ultimately prevents him from returning to full power, is a thrilling climax that also serves as a reminder of Harry's growth. However, no story is without its weaknesses. Some critics argue that the Sorcerer's Stone is somewhat predictable, especially for older readers who may already be familiar with certain tropes of the fantasy genre. But for its intended audience, children and young adults, the book's simplicity and clarity are its strengths. It's easy to follow and deeply engaging, even for those new to fantasy literature. In conclusion, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is not just a story about magic. It's a story about love, friendship, and the battle between good and evil. It's a book that teaches us that even in the darkest of times, we have the power to choose our path, to stand up for what is right, and to cherish the people who matter most to us. The book's timeless message resonates with readers of all ages and continues to inspire millions worldwide. If you haven't read it yet, I highly encourage you to dive into the magical world of Harry Potter. And if you're already a fan, then let's keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts on the book in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more book reviews, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Remember to subscribe and stay tuned for more fascinating book reviews that will make you see the world through a different lens.